What's up, people? Welcome back to the Guardian File. Before I go any further, make sure you hit that sub button. Make sure you hit that like button. Now, let's get into it. Now, today I'm going to report a tragic story that took place in Detroit, Michigan. Unfortunately, 2 children lost their life. I believe one was 9 and one was 1 or 2. If I'm mistaken, I apologize. But these 2 children lost their life. And one of the worst brutal ways that a person could go out. They froze to death. Now, what you're about to hear and see is the mother describing what took place. Everything that led up to this tragic moment. You're going to also hear from the father. Please have an open mind when viewing this and hearing this video. After the video is over, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Is there anything else that could have been done? Who's truly at fault? Let me know your thoughts. Again, make sure you hit that like and sub button. Let's get into it.
Right now, we're going to turn to our other big story of the night. A father speaking to us tonight after learning 2 of his kids died from exposure to the cold in a casino parking lot.
Yesterday, 7 News Detroit reporter Darren Cunningham spoke to the mother of those 2 kids about the tragic situation.
Yesterday, I woke them up to wake them up from school. My son wasn't moving. And I kept saying, Freddie, please get up. Please.
Well, tonight, Darren is getting the father's side of this story, hearing about the moment he learned 2 of his children had passed away.
Darnell Curry Sr. wiped away tears while talking with me about his children, Darnell Jr. and Amelia, and the distressing phone call he says he took from their mother, Tateona Williams, on Monday.
I went to the gym. As soon as I got on the treadmill, she called saying, can I make it to the hospital right now? They got him. I was hoping it was a sick joke, but it wasn't. According to Detroit police, 9-year-old Darnell Jr. and 2-year-old Amelia died while sleeping in a vehicle at the Hollywood Casino at Greektown parking garage. Investigators say the cause appears to be hypothermia, a tragedy stemming from homelessness.
I tried. I asked for help. I asked everybody, even people out of state. But I tried. I tried to keep hotels. I tried to pay people to stay there. It wasn't working for me. You know, people just didn't like too many kids at their house.
I spoke with the children's mother Tuesday evening. She told me she's been living in her vehicle for 3 months, along with her 4 kids, her mother, and 2 teenage siblings. She says she reached out to Curry, who's the father of 3 of her children.
I asked him, I said, can you get your kids for me? I said, I need help. You know I'm homeless. I done kept a room this long. I couldn't keep it no more.
They were homeless. Had Tateona ever reached out asking to?
No, she did not. All she said was, can I get them? Can I get them just to get them? And can I get them because y'all homeless? That's 2 different things.
She said she had been homeless for 3 months.
Say, I saw it. That's what I saw, about 3 months, but she ain't never said nothing to me. Nothing. So all them other sob stories, they can cut all that. No, she did not.
Curry, who lives in Novi, says Williams never specified why she wanted to drop their kids off to him.
She just asked, can I get them for a couple of days? But I told her I'm working and all that, and I'm out here. We're not close to each other, so I couldn't. But she knows all my family is right around the corner from her.
Did she reach out to any of your family?
No, she did not. And she knows she could have, like we always used to do.
He says the last time he held his children was a month or 2 ago, and that they typically FaceTime, moments he will miss.
And there's a, police investigation into this. What is it you would like to see come of this? Obviously, nothing's going to bring back your 9-year-old and your 2-year-old.
Don't even matter to me. Can't get them back, so it's whatever.
Darren Cunningham, 7 News Detroit.
No, you cannot get them back. Our heart aches for this family. I mean, there's so many people reaching out, trying to help. And I would just say, to anybody in our community, if your children are cold and go inside somewhere, beg for help if you can, so nothing like this ever happens again. And
as I learned today, there are shelters. In those kind of situations, even if it's not ideal, shelters are your best policy at that moment.
Shelters, there are churches, there are people who will take you in. And I know she said she asked for help, so we are not blaming the mother, because this is absolute heartache, but I'm speaking to anybody else out there. If you're in this situation, please go beg for help, go knock on a church door. They will let you in before they let you stay out in the cold and your children could possibly die. That won't happen. Please knock on a door and ask for help.
Yeah, please do.
Now, my videos are, for the most part, based around crimes, prison, things like that. And when I watch this, first thing that comes in my head is crime, because I truly believe that the mother really didn't try to go every route that she could have possibly taken to protect these kids. One disturbing thing I notice is, if you listen to it, she sounds like she's hard down crying, but when you watch, do you see any tears coming out? Now, if you see it, then please point it out, because I don't see it. Now I want to speak about the father, and I'm not giving him a pass at all. Well, if anything, I believe that he's most likely a dirtbag. See, but the thing is, I'm pretty sure he was that same dirtbag before he got her pregnant with the first child. And if you didn't know he was one then most definitely after that first child, he at least showed you signs of proof that he wasn't worthy of being a father. But guess what? She got pregnant by him again. And for some odd reason, probably most likely expected, something different. And see, when somebody hasn't shown you something, then you can't automatically assume or believe that out of nowhere, their character is going to change. They're going to be this upstanding father, citizen, etc. No, they don't have it in them. So, because a lot of people are saying that this guy needs to go to jail or he needs to be held more responsible than the mother. Now, the truth of the matter is, when we think about her stating that she tried to send the children to the father and he said no, or he stated that she didn't describe what was actually happening. All she said was, he needs to get the kids. To be honest with you, even if she described to him what was going on, most likely, since we already view him as a dirtbag father and man, most likely he's in the situation that there's many black men that's in nowadays. I'm not saying the majority, but there's a lot of them. They're in a position that they're in a relationship or quote unquote situation where they really just need somewhere to stay. Meaning that most likely they moved into another woman's house. Most likely the woman's house that they moved into probably doesn't have too much going on for her either. The one positive is that she at least has her own place to stay. And with that, most likely, she probably has her own children. And see, when a man is in that situation, guess what? He doesn't have the power to dictate or decide whether someone is able to stay over, whether it's overnight, a couple of days, or a month. He doesn't have that power. He's lucky to be there himself. So even if he wanted to take the children in, if that woman that he's with didn't feel like she wanted those children in that house, guess what? They're not going to be able to stay there. Now, we sit back and we watch this woman sound like she's crying and sounds like she's so hurt. But to be honest with you, her along with her mother look like they're both slow and probably should have never had kids to begin with. But to sit there and listen to this woman, and for so many people to have so much sympathy for, obviously you want to have sympathy for the children, because they couldn't help who brought them into this world, or whether the parents that brought them into this world were responsible adults or just people that are reckless and shouldn't have kids to begin with. They had no control over that. So before I go any further, let me make sure I make it clear that this energy that I have is not directed at the children, because it's not their fault. But there's so many people that have so much sympathy and really seem like they're feeling sorry for this woman as if she really did everything she could have possibly done. Whereas each person, I guarantee you could come up with a whole list of other options that this woman could have tried to at least attempt to make happen. But she didn't. So let's go with the scenario that you're in. We'll even just go with a house. You're living in a shed. It's freezing outside. 20 below. And it's you and your children there. No blankets, no nothing to keep each other warm. All y'all have is your clothes that you have on, coats, scully, whatever. Why are you able as an adult to make it out alive but your 2 children die from freezing to death? Because I would think, like, if you really love these children and want to protect these children, give them everything that they need like you're claiming, the first thing you should have gave up was the clothes off your back. You should have been in that van butt naked just to make sure your kids, even though they'll still be cold, that extra layer of clothing that they could have had could have made the difference between whether they lived or died. And let's not act like these children just went to sleep and didn't wake up. No, there's stages that they're going to go through before they freeze to death. That's an agonizing way to go out. So you had to listen to the pain coming from these children before it even got to the point that they passed. So you didn't just wake up and they woke up and they were dead. No, you heard them dying. And you sat back and you allowed it to happen. There is no way that you're in the same area, same facility as your children. They die from freezing to death, and you able to walk around and talk and cry and mourn for them. No. You should have been going right along with them. You should have went before they did. And as a parent that loves his children, that would truly do everything for his children, that should have been an option. But for some odd reason, it wasn't. I believe there's a lot more that goes along with this story, and it'll probably eventually come out. When an autopsy is done, they'll be able to tell exactly how the children actually went out. And something tells me it wasn't that they fell asleep and didn't wake up. No. She was tired of being a parent, stressed out, she couldn't take the pressure no more, and felt like that was the best way for it to happen. Because at one moment she said she ran out of gas, then stated that she rushed them to the hospital. I don't know whether she drove her van to the hospital or not, but if you ran out of gas, ain't no way in hell you can drive them to the hospital. But I digress. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Do you think that she's being genuine and sincere, or do you think that she's full of shit? Make sure to hit the like and sub button. Until next time, I'm out.
Nobody helped me. It took me to lose 2 of my kids to get this help. I don't feel good about it.
The mother of 2 children who likely died from hypothermia in a car is speaking out tonight. Her 9-year-old son and 2-year-old daughter were found unresponsive after spending the night in the Hollywood Casino parking garage.
Over the past 24 hours, questions have been raised about why the family didn't get help. During a press conference today, Mayor Mike Duggan revealed that family called the city in November, but nothing was done.
For whatever reason, this wasn't deemed an emergency that caused an outreach worker to visit the family.
Tonight, I sat down with that mother. She is 29-year-old Tateona Williams. She told me she and her 4 children had been living in their van for the past 3 months.
They said it was carbon monoxide. Or I don't know what it is. There's so many stories going around. I haven't even got the right story for my own kids. But one thing I do know is they could never be cold in their car, because I keep guessing their car. I do what I got to do to keep them kids with heat. So it's not hypothermia. My kids could have never froze to death. But I called everybody. I called out of state. I called different cities. I called Detroit. I got on a cam list. I've been on a cam list for a long time. Nobody. Every time I call, they say there's no shelter, no bed. I thought I was doing the right thing. I tried to keep them warm at night. That's it. I was just trying to keep them warm. Nobody helped me. It took me to lose 2 of my kids to get this help. I don't feel good about it.
If you ever find yourself without shelter, there are resources for you. Just scan the QR code on your screen to be taken to clickondetroit.com. We've posted those resources there. Also, everything we've learned so far about this horrible case.